We bring it into already underway as the players are about to start game 2. Weiser is down a game here, so he'll be on the play. Now, both players go mulliganing to 6. You got to think that favors Tenjum.
Yeah, the burn deck is all about counting to 20 points of damage just by casting spells one at a time. I will say that this gets a little bit better post-sideboard. There's some Searing Bloods to bring in, as well as the 4 Searing Blades. So you can interact while also promoting your own game plan of just doming Tenjum.
Sure, Grim Lavamancer, an extra one in there. I think you're absolutely right. One of the ways that burn undoes its mulligans is when it has a creature heavy draw. Those creatures are repeatable burn sources in the right situation. Now, in this matchup, that's tough for Weiser.
Right, and you start running into things like Kitchen Finks, and your creature is worth less than a Lava Spike.
Yeah, you never want to see that card. A little bit of history here. So Weiser from the Minneapolis area, Andrew Tenjum from Madison. If you're not familiar, that is a storied rivalry, at least in the upper Midwest, between the two communities.
Indeed, yeah. Back when there were regular old PTQs, there was Madison PTQs, there was Minneapolis PTQs, and you always wanted a Minnesota guy to win the Wisconsin PTQ.
It was a point of pride if you won the other city's PTQ.
Oh, yeah.
So Weiser on the play. We'll start with Goblin Guide. He'll put Tenjum down to 18. Tenjum responds with a 1-drop of his own. It's a Birds of Paradise. I won my first PTQ in Madison. It's good. Scored a point for the team.
Every time I've qualified for the Pro Tour has been in Minneapolis.
All right. Well, you're defending the home turf.
Somebody's got to.
And for Weiser side, it's a swing with a pair of Goblin Guides and then a Lava Spike upstairs. So Tenjum down to 11 after 2 turns. Goblin Guides have not given him any extra cards so far. This is a very fast draw from Weiser, and you think on a mulligan to 6, this is what he needed.
Definitely. Not having an answer to the bird does give Tenjum the potential to play Kitchen Finks this turn. That would be a huge swing.
Right, and we'll see if he can do it.
The first 2 turns were about what Daniel... I'm not going to say perfect, because a kill spell for the birds would probably have been huge here.
Goblin Guide into Searing Blaze might have been better.
Right.
And we see Tenjum very carefully fetching up basics.
Smells like a Kitchen Finks.
And that is the Finks. That is the play that Tenjum needed here. It puts him back up to 12, and more importantly, gives him a great blocker.
Right.
Go back over to Weiser. Now, with Tenjum at 12, things have become more difficult. I mean, can Weiser even swing the Goblin Guides anymore? I don't think so.
Tenjum's life total just stays the same.
Yeah, he might draw some cards, right? He'd briefly go to 10. If Weiser can burn Tenjum down to 10, that attack would, or down to 2, that attack would kill him. And this is tough. This is what I said, those creature-heavy draws are a real liability in this matchup.
Right, and the Goblin Guides aren't getting any better, so
it's not. Yeah,
it's hard to make this decision because it doesn't seem good either way that you play it.
It feels like we're just looking for 4 Lava Spikes now. Which, oh boy.
And at this point, Weiser is a Naya deck. We have not yet seen a white source out of him. I think I might have just seen one hanging out in his hand.
Now, if he waits until he draws a card like Atarka's Command, then maybe that attack becomes better because he can Atarka's Command to pump the creatures and deny Tenjum the life gain.
Yeah, the actual 3 damage upstairs at this point would actually do 1 more damage, but the Atarka's Command itself would be fine.
For turn, Weiser plays Wild Nacatl and then Sacred Foundry. So the Sacred Foundry by itself puts Nacatl up to a 3/3. And how about another Kitchen Finks from Tenjum? Oh my.
So I said things weren't going perfectly for Weiser. They kind of are for Tenjum, even though he's stalling on a land here.
Yeah, he did miss the land drop. But boy, this is...
Whew. That bird's living to this point has been huge for him.
Yeah, without the Birds of Paradise, Tenjum would have had no plays.
And that's kind of the folly of these creature-heavy burn decks. If there was just more stuff that you could aim at a creature, this would be a very different game.
Yeah, if you had, talking about that possible Searing Blaze on turn 2, if they had one in his hand.
If this Nacatl was just something that could target a creature.
So Weiser's going to know that the situation has become tough for him. At this point, he's brainstorming to think what can go right. So he's going to swing the team. Well, he didn't give Tenjum a land, but there is another Kitchen Finks on top of Tenjum's deck. This is a... Oh my.
Now Weiser really, really needs that answer to the birds.
So Finks will block Goblin Guide and Nacatl. I mean, he's got to have a Skullcrack or a Atarka's Command here. If this trade happens and Tenjum goes to 18 and then 20, I don't know how burn beats a turn 2, 3, 4 Kitchen Finks. That's That's really hard.
It's one of the better cards in Modern, the entire Modern format against the burn deck. Outside of outright killing your opponent.
Well, here's the Atarka's command. I'm assuming we're denying the life gain. We'll see if he pumps the team or deals 3. Looks like deals 3. Yep, Skullcrack. So 3 damage, no life gain. So Tenjum will go to 9.
Yeah. Skullcrack was the best mode for the card. That's how you got the most damage out of that.
Yeah, he could have pumped, and that would save his Nacatl, but deal 3 fewer damage. That's probably not worth it. I don't think the Nacatl's worth more than that. Especially now with Tenjum playing another Kitchen Finks, he'll go to 11, and what a show of strength here. He's going to attack with the 2-1 Finks.
Well, here's where Kitchen Finks really comes into play. Not only was it gaining life, killing creatures, but now it's just turning the corner.
And Weiser draws, and no plays passes.
You talk about a card that does literally everything you want to do in a matchup.
Blocks the creatures, gains life, ends the game on your side. It's everything.
Everything. It's even part of your combo. It's just 3-2.
I don't know that we need a combo this game anymore.
The combo was Birds of Paradise, 2 Forests, and 3 Kitchen Finks.
Well, here's a swing for 7. Weiser will trade the Goblin Guide with a 2-1 Finks and join Tenjum at 11 apiece.
If the swing last turn was a show of strength, this one is even more so. Presumably there's a follow-up here in the post-combat main phase.
Oh, how about some more life gain? Here's Scavenging Ooze in play for Tenjum. Graveyards are just full of creatures right now.
Yeah, there's some Goblin Guides and
Finks and Nacatl, and there's 4 creatures in the yard. Tenjum's going to go to work, going up to 12.
Yeah, and those big cards for Weiser, just a lightning bolt for the birds would have swung this game, but Searing Blaze and Searing Blood could have actually mattered in a game like this, but just nothing that is very good here showing up for Weiser, just creatures that are not good against Kitchen Finks. And so we see Tenjum attacking again, and with Weiser already down to 11, no blockers hanging out.
You see a shrug of the shoulders here. He put up the best fight he could in this game, but this one was never close. Tenjum gaining life 1 at a time. Scavenging Ooze the perfect finisher against the deck too. It's a huge threat. It's incremental life gain. You can't really Skullcrack through it. You can't remove it. And there's a handshake. So Andrew Tenjum, number 3 on the leaderboard. We talked about this weekend how if he wanted to defend that player's championship slot, first of all, he'd have to make day 2. Well, he's done that and then some. With a 7-1 start, he's definitely making day 2.